Stormfox says, when you predict the three-way Davy backfight, you forgot one thing. What Shanks said in the chapter is no one hurts his friends. So what's funny is in that chapter, he was like, I won't let this place turn into a battleground. And he didn't, because he just ended it immediately. Okay, American says, Kid now has a reason to participate in a Davy backfight now that his poneglyphs and crew are gone. A second chance at being a pirate, baby. He has to participate in a Davy backfight just to be allowed to be a pirate again. I think I said in the video straight up, I said, we can assume that the Kid pirates obviously won't just be eliminated from the story here, because that's not an option. So all of that is to say that with Shanks versus Kid, even if it is currently being framed as a duel to the death, I believe that this fight has to ultimately be stalled in some way or transitioned into some other sort of a challenge. One that does not end up with Kid dead or further dismembered. Yes, they can. I guess they can. Talaha Jahan says, Morge, I made a meme you'll love. Let me click this. I hope it's not porn. Or maybe I secretly hope it's porn. Oh, okay, so it's between Sanji and Kid. Strongest Jiki main, average blackleg user. Cannot observe a man jumping straight at him. Had to hide behind Zoro after being carried by him for an entire battle. True. Could not put down Big Mom even after literal nukes. True. Was bullied by a fat dinosaur while they drowned his vice captain. True. As conquers hockey with dreams to become a pirate king, somehow still loses fights like he's a washed up YouTuber. I don't know what you're talking about there. PK Ziggy says, bro said, only if I lose, wahaha, then got one shot LMAO. What is this nonsense? Dude, I forgot about that. I forgot that that's the final, that was the cliffhanger we were left at, and then it literally happened. That's actually really funny. Alex says, imagine spending 2 years fixated on revenge for your arm, only for you to roll up and the guy gotta look up some documents to see who the fuck you even are. That's a good point. Edwin Rodriguez says, sad Kid fan here. Dude, I didn't even know that there's Kid fans. Please, Morge, tell me this isn't it for Kid. And I just told you that I wanted to. I don't think it's it for Kid, but I'm done being optimistic about things. I've been through this so many times in Wano already. It's just like, okay, I don't think Oda's just going to wrap it like this. I'm sure that there's something more to it, and then there just isn't. So, Pina says, Morge, I just got first place on Mario Kart. Well, it's not earned because Mario Kart is never earned. Captain Face says, hey man, Morge mister. I can't wait to see Kid as the new Gecko Moria in the epilogue. Being fat, lazy, and floating on a metal chair everywhere would make for an alright villain for Buffy in Two Piece. I've seen some people talking about that, like Kid at this point is just going to be, you know, one of those leftover failed pirates and stuff like that. You know, we'll wait and see. Sun says, Marco King, Law, Roof, Zoro greater than Kid. Is the scaling now? Yeah, I got everyone above Kid at this point. King would definitely fuck up Kid. I think to really put into context how tough Lunarians are, think about this. The same attacks that Luffy was doing against... The only thing as far as we know that Luffy is not doing against Lunarians is Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Right? That's the only thing as far as we know. Same with Zoro. He's not using Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Right? Zoro and Luffy could both damage Kaido before they unlocked Advanced Conqueror's Haki. They could both damage Kaido. So think about that. You got Kaido and Big Mom's durability. Lunarians is basically canonically above Kaido and Big Mom's durability. So if the Railgun couldn't even deal like real damage to Big Mom, even Kid's Railgun is not doing anything to King. And honestly, in that sense, it's not going to do shit to Marco either. What is Kid going to do to Marco? What could Kid possibly do to Marco? Right? There's nothing there. Haritz Andeka Nugroho says, do you think Blackbeard's crew goes to Egghead to kidnap Bonnie? They need to grow Pudding's third eye after all. They had their hands on Bonnie at the end of pre-time skip. I think it would be kind of circular to just get back to them getting Bonnie again. The way it sounded there, it didn't sound as though they wanted Bonnie for her abilities, but rather just because Blackbeard's horny. Interestingly, if Bonnie aged up Pudding, then she could hit legal consent age to be with Sanji, which would also be a nice play. Andrew Anderson says that, I think that in order to prevent Blackbeard from stealing his fruit, Law performs the immortality surgery on Beppo. In order to prevent Blackbeard from stealing his fruit, Law performs the immortality surgery on Beppo? What the fuck? Grizzly Adams says, if Kid had leveraged his defeat of Big Mom instead of going in guns blazing, he might have gotten the Giants on his side. That's so true, dude. That's such a great point. Are they not grateful for what Kid did? Do they not know? Dragonfire says, will this event cause issues between Shanks and Luffy later since he sees Kid as a friend now? I don't see Luffy being okay with what happened to Kid. I don't think Luffy sees Kid as a friend in that, like, I think Luffy still sees Kid as a rival at the end of the day, right? There's friends that Luffy puts in the category of, you're my friend, so I protect you no matter what. You know, I look out for you. Like a Momonosuke, right? If Shanks had fucking fucked up Momonosuke like that, I think Luffy would have something to say. Little Dragon 21 says, Shanks is inverse of Buggy. Shanks' fleet is bounty and reputation inflated by Shanks' strength. Buggy's reputation and bounty is inflated by his fleets. That is such a great point. That's actually my favorite point that's been made so far this stream. Everyone shout outs to Little Dragon 21. That is actually a great contrast that you just pointed out. Shanks is the inverse of Buggy. Shanks' fleet and bounty. Yeah, Shanks is very strong, but his fleet is very weak. So he protects them and he helps inflate their reputation. Buggy is very weak, but his fleet is very strong, and they inflate his reputation. That is actually so cool. I love that. Great point, man. Leo Recto, welcome to the Yonko. Nerve AMV Maker says, was that a sword feat we witnessed? If that's the case, then Mihawk as a warlord is the worst employee of all time. Dude, the Mihawk versus Shanks stuff, it's back. It's back in full force. Good to know. Leo Rector says, yo, Sir Morge, not a power scale, but what do you think of the duality between Mihawk and Shanks' efforts? Interesting since Mihawk never goes all out, even at Marineford. Whatever sword move Shanks did, Mihawk should be able to do the same level of damage, right? If not more, right? It's a sword attack. Shanks shouldn't have the strongest sword attack in the world. Mihawk should have the strongest sword attack in the world. That being said, there's a difference between not trying versus it's literally, if you're as strong as Mihawk is, it should be almost impossible to not crush a Vista or a Jozu or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, even if he's not trying at all, Vista should be a one-shot. It should be almost difficult for Mihawk to not instantly defeat Vista. You get what I'm saying? Maybe he's walking around with some sort of a fucking hockey seal on him or something like that. It just doesn't make any sense. To the point that Vista was... I'm kidding, by the way. That's not... I'm not trying to headcanon anything. But, like, it was to the point that Vista literally said, we both have a point in our favor. It's like, both have a point in your favor? Even if Mihawk's not trying at all, that would be wildly embarrassing. There's just... how much... it should be physically difficult to hold back that much, right? It would be like, I don't know, like me trying not to knock over a pile of popsicles or something like that, or like a bunch of dominoes or something, right? It just doesn't make any sense. Jake Jones says, useless Captain Mid, rest in peace.